I think that I have been waiting all my life, and now I just don't know what the hell to say.
In deep red Alabama, it's the race that was far closer than it was ever supposed to be.
I have always believed that the people of Alabama had more in common than to divide us. We have shown, not just around the state of Alabama, but we have shown the country the way that we can be unified.
In a historic election, Democratic Senate candidate Doug Jones is now projected by ABC News to have won the Alabama Senate seat over President Trump-backed Roy Moore.
Thank you.
First time a Democrat has won here in 25 years. President Trump congratulating Jones on Twitter, saying, "The people of Alabama are great, and Republicans will have another shot at this seat in a very short period of time." But Republican candidate Roy Moore is not yet ready to concede defeat.
Realize when the vote is this close that it's not over.
It began as a special election to replace the Senate seat that Jeff Sessions vacated when he became the Attorney General. But this Alabama election soon turned high profile, the specter of sexual harassment casting this race onto the national scene.
So one of the big outcomes of tonight is the fact that the president lost politically very badly tonight. He put his name on the line. He lost badly.
It's the reason the whole world's watching Little Alabama, because we are trying to save democracy.
That next chapter in Alabama's history,
It's not a secret ballot for me, guys.
we may have begun tonight with Jones's historic projected win.
In Alabama, we have come so far with too many things. And there's this saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Alabama's not going to let that shame happen again.
One last question.
Roy Moore may have had a horse and President Trump on his side.
Hi, this is President Donald Trump, and I need Alabama to go vote for Roy Moore.
I feel great.
But the Democrats pulled out all the stops.
I'm Channing Tatum, and I'm proud to be from Alabama.
There is a guy named Doug Jones, and as an American citizen, he's the guy I want in the Senate.
For a Jones victory, sending in their A squad over the past few days.
It's an incredible state, and this is your chance to let the world know that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jones's civil rights work may have helped sway African Americans, who make up a quarter of the state's population. Today he was at the 16th Street Baptist Church in Birmingham, where a bomb killed 4 black girls in 1963. More than 30 years later, as a U.S. attorney in Alabama, Jones prosecuted 2 members of the KKK for their role in the bombing. His office also helped put away a sexual predator who tried to solicit sex from an FBI agent posing as a 14-year-old girl in an online chat room.
I damn sure believe that I have done my part to ensure that men who hurt little girls should go to jail and not the United States Senate.
Jones says his priorities on Capitol Hill include the economy, health care, the environment, and criminal justice. And as a moderate Democrat, he generally supports legal abortion. He and his wife Louise mark their 25th wedding anniversary today. Another cause for celebration is Jones apparently toppled his gun-toting,
I believe in the Second Amendment.
horse-riding conservative Christian opponent. As a judge on the state Supreme Court, Moore defied federal courts on the issue of same-sex marriage. He views homosexuality as sinful.
It is immoral. It is defined by the law as detestable.
Moore has never shied away from expressing his views. He is vehemently against abortion, a view shared by many voters in Alabama. In 2011, Moore appeared on an ultra-conservative radio show where one of the hosts suggested voiding all the amendments after the 10th. Moore responding, saying,
That would eliminate many problems. You know, people don't understand how some of these amendments have completely tried to wreck the form of government that our forefathers intended.
But such a suggestion would mean getting rid of the amendment that abolished slavery and the one that granted women the right to vote, among others. Even his wife Kayla has raised eyebrows, saying last night,
Fake news would tell you that we don't care for Jews. One of our attorneys is a Jew.
But it was the allegations of sexual misconduct from 9 women who came forward against Moore that caused the most controversy. Their accounts of a 30-something Moore allegedly preying on them when some of them were underage have seemingly split the state.
He was trying to pull me toward in between his legs. It was terrible. And I was bound and determined that I was not going to be raped by him.
Moore has denied these allegations.
Specifically, I do not know any of these women, nor have I ever engaged in sexual misconduct with any woman.
Many in his base sticking by his side.
These are allegations, and in America, I believe it still holds true that everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
The allegations against Moore are part of a national outrage blanketing the country, from Birmingham to the Beltway. And some say making this Senate race a kind of referendum on Trump himself. 113 House Democrats, more than 50 of them women, calling for an investigation into allegations of sexual misconduct by the president.
Me Too is saying loud and clear that accusations of sexual abuse should be taken seriously.
On CNN yesterday, Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand took it a step further.
President Trump should resign. These allegations are credible. They are numerous. I've heard these women's testimony, and many of them are heartbreaking.
President Trump responding this morning on Twitter, calling the senator a lightweight and flunky who would do anything for campaign contributions. Today, the president refused to clarify.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, what did you mean when you said that Kirsten Gillibrand would do anything for a campaign contribution?
White House spokesperson Sarah Sanders did clarify, saying the tweet was not an innuendo.
I think only if your mind is in the gutter would you have read it that way.
Gillibrand seemingly not buying it and punching back at the president.
It was a sexist smear attempting to silence my voice. And I will not be silenced on this issue. Neither will the women who stood up to the president yesterday, and neither will the millions of women who have been marching since the Women's March to stand up against policies they do not agree with.
Many of her colleagues on Capitol Hill with strong words for the president.
When the president tweeted about our colleague, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, is grotesque, it took my breath away, and it represents the conduct of a person who is ill-equipped to be the president of the United States.
Tonight's win for Democrats comes amid a precarious power balance in the Senate. Earlier today, some Republicans already downplaying the results.
I wouldn't read too much into one election. I'm comfortable with the people of Alabama making a decision. And it is their decision to make.
Whereas others in the GOP maintaining that this election was not a fight for one Senate seat, but a fight for the soul of their party.
You can't be the party of Roy Moore.
Before tonight, 19 Senate Republicans have gone on the record calling for Moore to step aside. Lindsey Graham making a bold prediction on CNN.
Roy Moore will be the gift that keeps on giving for Democrats. It will define the 2018 election, at least 2018. And to think you can elect Roy Moore without getting the baggage of Roy Moore is pretty naive.
Luther Strange is determined to drain that swamp.
Trump campaigned against Moore in the primary, initially throwing his weight behind Luther Strange. But in recent weeks, the president threw his full support behind Roy Moore.
So get out and vote for Roy Moore.
Even defending him against the allegations.
Well, he denies it. Look, he denies it.
But that support fell short, with African-American voters and young people showing up en masse for Jones. From even the unlikeliest of voters.
I'll be honest, I've never seen the excitement or interest in an election like I have seen for this little Senate race.
Tracy James is a lifelong Republican who comes from a long line of Republican political leaders. Today she cast her vote for a Democrat.
I have felt empowered, not only as a Republican, I feel like holding my party to a better standard, but as a woman who I think is making the right choice.
A night of history.
Thank you. Thank you.
Her passage over party lines, culminating in victory.
I don't care how we did it, we did it.